Well, welcome to the next morning. And I gotta try and get this screw out of here. Yesterday I was trying to do it like this, but I'm thinking now, perhaps if I pried it up from the bottom while it was turning, it might be a little bit more effective. Let's give that a whirl here. I put that there, and I can sort of pry it up like this. Yeah, give that a try. Now, my original plan was that I would just weld these in. And then I realized that, well, what's going to happen is, you see all that grease there? I figured, okay, I can't do that because the grease is going to melt, run out, or worse yet, catch fire. So that's why I was thinking about these screws. Unless I was to just sort of tack it. You know, a tack weld on the corners for, 2-3 seconds. I don't think it would heat up in there that fast. I've had no experience with this, so I don't know, but I don't think it will. So I could probably do that. But I also wanted to be able to maybe remove these later if for some reason I had to, although I don't know why I'd want to. Now, there are 2 or 3 more things I want to try here. And that is, I'm going to try another one of these screws, and I'm going to drill the hole out a little bit bigger. In fact, it'll be almost as big as the diameter of the threads there. I want to try that. Then somebody suggested, well, why don't you just for the fun of it, see if you can bore right into this with one of these screws. And, well, I'm going to try it. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. And then, of course, there is the drilling and tapping. I have a lot of 1/4-inch screws, short ones. I wouldn't even have to buy them. So the drilling and tapping is probably the best idea, but it'd be a lot of work. So I'm getting lazy here on this. I am thinking at this point, possibly spot welding just on the corners. A spot weld is going to be just as strong as that screw, maybe even stronger. Okay, this drill is just a smidgen smaller than the threads. So let's enlarge this hole and see what happens. Now, as long as I'm over here, I may as well drill out the hole for the tap. And also, I'll use the drill press to try and get this in. See what happens here. Now, I am pretty well 100% sure that this won't work. However, I'm not an expert on metal, and it is possible that this screw is a lot harder than this is. But from what I saw yesterday, I don't think so. Anyway, here we go. Let's see what happens. Well, I am so glad I didn't bet. I was so sure that this wasn't going to work that I didn't even clamp down my vise, and I should have. And now I know it pulled my chuck out here, but that's no problem. I'll get that back in. This drill press is not designed for this sort of thing. However, let's have a look at those threads. You know that David down in Australia, he was right. Well, let's see. Is it possible to back this out now? Yes. It's very, very stiff, but it is coming out. Well, sort of coming out. But it looks like the threads survived. Yeah, they're just as sharp as they were before. Man, I'd have lost the house if I'd have bet. There we go. Well, that changes things. I wonder now if I can put this in by using the electric drill instead of the drill press, because I was putting a lot of force down on this. All right, I'll give it a try. Okay, bring you in a little closer here. Oh, here goes. Well, maybe I should have had the slip clutch just a little bit tighter. I'll move it up here. Okay, so that's locked. Put it up to number 15. That's as tight as it'll go. And also, maybe I'll change it into low gear here. Yeah, that'll be better. Well, I'll be. Let's see what'll happen if I try to back it out now. Nothing wrong with that. I don't see anything on those threads that indicates that they're any worse now than they were before. Now this is the piece of metal that I'm going to be using on the bottom, and it'll be flat like this. And clearly I can't use these holes, because these holes will come out right here where the sides is, where the sidewall is. And well, naturally I can't drill that deep, so I'm probably going to have to make little holes just in, you know, like so, something like that, that are just slightly bigger than the screw. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test that. I don't want to cut a piece of this off, because this is, you know, it's not like a 2x4 that's only $3. I think this piece is about $30. So this time I've clamped my vise down. I'll make sure that the wheel doesn't swing around and catch on the chuck when it comes down. I don't think it will. Just double check here and make sure. No, it should be okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, now just do that on the other hole. Maybe I'll give it a fresh bite here. Okay, now you'll notice I've moved the vise over this way a little bit, and that way I can give more downward force than when it was way over there. So, okay, I think this is a new one. See what would happen here. Well, I wonder if there's another way I can do this. See, I can't, I need 3 hands here. Alright. Okay, you can see I've repositioned everything here. What's this? China. Everything's made in China these days. Well, almost everything. Well, here we go. That's about right. Okay, put it into low gear. And see what happens here. I suppose I really should get those iron filings out from underneath there. Well, I'll do that when I do the real thing. I just want to see if I can tighten this up. Just do it by hand here. I can feel it a lot better. Oh yeah, that's going to work. That's going to work good. Yeah. Problem solved. Maybe I'll try one more. Ooh, I'm going crooked here. I'm going crooked. I don't know if that's going to help or not. For some reason this one is not going very good. Maybe I'll put it into high gear and build up some heat. It'll sort of melt its way through. That did it. Okay, here we go. And I'll say it again. Problem solved.